Isaiah 44:24, I alone created the heavens. Did Jesus contradict this? Did Jesus contradict the Old Testament? Isaiah 44:24 says that God alone created the heavens and the earth, yet the New Testament says Jesus created everything. Is this a contradiction, or is this the clearest proof that Jesus is God? Stick around because this might change everything you thought about Jesus. Section 1. What Isaiah 44:24 says about creation. Let's start by looking at the claim made in the Old Testament. Isaiah 44:24 makes a bold and exclusive statement about who created everything. Let's read it. Isaiah 44:24, KJV. Thus saith the Lord thy Redeemer, and he that formed thee from the womb, I am the Lord that maketh all things, that stretcheth forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself. Key takeaways from this verse. 1. God alone created everything. He had no helpers. 2. He stretched out the heavens and the earth by himself. 3. This verse removes any possibility of a second being assisting in creation. Big question. If Isaiah 44:24 says that God created alone, then why does the New Testament credit Jesus with creating all things? Section 2. Jesus as creator, a New Testament problem. Now let's compare this with what the New Testament says about Jesus and creation. John 1:3, KJV. All things were made by him, Jesus, and without him was not anything made that was made. Colossians 1:16-17, KJV. For by him, Jesus, were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. Hebrews 1:10, KJV. And thou, Lord, Jesus, in the beginning hast laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thine hands. Problem for skeptics. Isaiah 44:24 says God created alone. The New Testament says Jesus created everything. If Jesus is not God, then the Bible is contradicting itself. Section 3. Is this a contradiction or proof of Jesus' deity? Skeptics love to call this a contradiction, but let's analyze it carefully. If Isaiah 44:24 says God created alone, yet Jesus is credited with creating all things, there are only two logical conclusions. 1. The Bible contradicts itself, which is impossible. 2. Jesus is the Lord of Isaiah 44:24. Supporting evidence. Isaiah 9:6 calls the Messiah Mighty God and Everlasting Father. John 8:58. Jesus says, Before Abraham was, I am, claiming the divine name of God. Revelation 1:8. Jesus is called Alpha and Omega, the Almighty. Conclusion. The New Testament writers understood Jesus as the very God of Isaiah 44:24. Section 4. Refuting common objections. Objection number 1. Jesus was just an agent or helper in creation. Answer. That would make Isaiah 44:24 a lie because it says God created alone, no helpers. Objection number 2. The Father created through Jesus, so Jesus isn't God. Answer. That doesn't work either. If Jesus was not God, then Isaiah 44:24 would be false because it states that no one else helped in creation. Objection number 3. Jesus was created first and then created the world. Answer. Wrong. Colossians 1:16 says Jesus created all things, including time and space. He is before all things, meaning he could not have been created. Final verdict. If Jesus is not God, then Isaiah 44:24 contradicts the New Testament. The only way to resolve this is to recognize that Jesus is the YHWH of the Old Testament. final challenge and call to action. Now it's your turn. If Jesus isn't God, explain why he is called the Creator in John 1:3. If Isaiah 44:24 says God created alone, how can Jesus also be the Creator? How do skeptics explain this without admitting Jesus is God? Like, share, and comment below. Do you believe Jesus is God? Let's discuss. Subscribe for more biblical truth that exposes deception.